When Kobe and I decided to create a podcast and coined it the Father Son Podcast, most would feel this is a gimmick for the podcast, and that couldn't be further from the truth. From the day Kobe was born, I introduced him to video games. This was a way of life for me, as I can remember my father buying me the Odyssey home system, where the cellophane field that clung to the TV determined what game you were playing. Kobe's love for video games grew, as did the bond of a father and a son. When I introduced him to online play, his world opened to new heights. He learned quickly that the incredible gaming experience wasn't just something shared between a father and a son, but there was an entire world that shared his passion for gaming. Gaming was just part of his upbringing, as school or sports was. We always made arrangements that a video game experience was just an arm's length away, even when we went on vacation. As Kobe got older, our experience took us to the road, experiencing events like the Great E3 to more modern events like Summer Game Fest, the Xbox Experience, IGN, and PAX. Kobe graduated from college and now works in the video game industry on the Xbox team. So, as you can see, it was nothing but natural progression to now share our experience and love of the industry through our podcast. Now sit back and enjoy the ride.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Father and Son Gaming Podcast right here on Active Reload Gaming. My name is Kobe, aka Kobe127. I need to switch myself over here, put you back in the right spot. And that is Kevin, aka Octane699. I have kicked my dad out of his office in order to run this, so he is now in an undisclosed location.
Yeah, from the last time that I ran it, I see Shampoo's in here. The last time I ran it, I got PTSD from it, man. And I'm like, I cannot sit and try to run this again. So we had to think of a unique way to do this Christmas segment. And Kobe is home. So he took the big man seat and I got kicked out.
Yep, I have officially kicked him out. I have now done the hostile takeover here. But yeah, home for the holidays. I hope each and every one of you is going to have a great holiday this week. We'll get into that in a little bit. So yeah, it's the holidays. We're going to do one more episode of the podcast for 2025. We will return in 2026. But we thought, what a great way to chill out for the rest of the year. But besides, talk about Christmas themed video games, which is a weird category as we've done research into what is a Christmas themed video game. And you're going to find out that a lot of it is the diehard argument for the movie world, where a lot of these are definitely pulling strings. But from the games that my dad wants to talk about, those are definitely Christmas, I would say. Whereas mine are, are a lot of diehard arguments that will have to be made. But before that, we haven't done this in a while. I'd like to remind each and every one of you to follow us on all of our socials on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky and Spotify. We're at Active Reload Gaming. And then on Twitch and X or Twitter, we are at Active Rel. That is with an REL, Active Rel Gaming. We are usually live every Monday at 7 o'clock EST, 7 p.m. and 4 p.m. PST. But after this stream today, we will not be live for the next couple weeks. We're going to announce on our socials and our Discord when we do plan on coming back. And we're going to also have a slew of announcements to make once we enter the new year. Probably going to be recording a couple videos that we will upload to the socials, just kind of going over what is in store in 2026, because we do have a lot of changes on the way. We're going to shake things up. It's been what, 6 months now? No, 5 months?
5 months.
5 months since this thing has started, and it has been very fast already, quite a journey. But we're here, and it's time to start shaking things up a little bit. We kind of found out what works, what doesn't work, and now we're going to move into 2026 with a fresh pair of eyes and see what we got cooking up. Dad, do you want to add anything to the housekeeping?
No, actually, still having fun. We thank everybody for all the support that we've had throughout all this time. And feedback from you guys is what's kind of helped with this. And we just want to make this the most entertaining father son duo out there. And we will be playing and streaming some games so y'all can see me kick his butt again.
Yeah, and entertaining is probably an understatement, because it's always a treat whenever you are on camera, and I don't know what you're gonna say half the time.
That's
So
fun. That's what keeps you on the toes. That's what
yeah,
keeps everybody on their toes.
yeah,
Why do they want to
exactly.
tune into something boring?
But hello, Cherry Tomato Boy in the chat, and then Shemplu says, "Die Hard like the Christmas movie. Gotta watch this holiday." Die Hard's a good movie. Whether or not it's a Christmas movie is always the debate. Some people say yay, some people say no. I'll leave it up to you in the comments to debate on that one. So chat, let me know, is Die Hard a Christmas movie as we start moving our way into Christmas themed video games. What is a Christmas themed video game? Is there even a Christmas themed video game out there? And surprisingly, there is well over 70 entries according to Wikipedia, and other people have classified different Christmas themed video games. As we were kind of going through the list, there was a few of them that I found quite surprising that we won't be going over in this video, but a couple of them I just want to shout out is Cherry Tomato Boy says, "Raise your hand if you've been doxxed by Kevin." I have. But yeah, uh, one of them was like Duke Nukem 3D, and I never realized that people had classified that as a Christmas game. Another one that was on my list, but I removed it because I'm like, there might be something else that I want to talk about, was Max Payne 1. And apparently people say that is a neo-noir Christmas game. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we're really stretching here. But is there any honorable mentions that you wanted to just kind of throw?
One for me would have been Bully. Like I never really thought about Bully. Rockstar game. If you haven't played it, go back and play it. I wish they'd redo Bully, but I guess in today's society, it's not you know something that they would go over too well. But it's Rockstar; they can get away with anything. But I didn't really put Bully into the Christmas themed game, but it was on the Wikipedia list, so I think that would be my honorable mention. Would be Bully.
Yeah, the other one that I removed last minute, but people say it is, and you and I had a debate literally right before this, was people say Mafia 2 is a Christmas game. And I think that's another like hard stretch. Because I think like the first act of the game is set during the Christmas time. And I guess if you want to just go on technicality, you can call it a Christmas game. But I don't remember it fully being during that time. I think the snow section, the winter time, was only for 2 to 3 missions most.
Yeah, that's what I remember it because I would have never even thought about, and I love Mafia 2. I don't know that I would have ever thought, oh, Mafia 2 was during Christmas time. I do remember him starting off with the jacket and the snow and things, but yeah, I don't know how long it lasted in the episodes.
Shampoo says, I never thought of Christmas as a game category. If anything, I would say any game you play with your family every year during Christmas is a Christmas game. What do you have to say
Well,
about that?
that would be like saying every movie that you watch with your family during Christmas could be a Christmas movie. And that's where we kind of came up with this was there's been a long debate about is it a Christmas movie, isn't it? And that's where Kobe's coming up with the Die Hard. And to me, I said to Kobe, well, I've never, maybe there has been, but I've never seen the debate. Is it a Christmas video game or isn't it a Christmas video game? And I think that's where we came up and said, you know what, that's not a bad topic. Let's get that out there and do some discussion. And then, like Kobe said, when we looked it up, we never thought there was 75, entries on Wikipedia. That's what really blew our mind more than anything. But I'm going to throw this out to the chat, Kobe, in the debate. When it comes to putting together a list like this, do you have to have played the game in this list? Or can you just say, hey, this is a Christmas game? Do you guys think that if we put together a Christmas game list, that you would have to have played the game? In that 75 list, when you're putting together a Christmas video game list, do you think we would have had to play the game or not?
I think the way you're wording it is very different because the title of this podcast is the Christmas themed video games that you need to play. And my
Now,
argument
you need
was
to play wasn't on there.
it's always been on there.
No. Look
But
at the thumbnail. It wasn't on
Shampoo
there.
says Die Hard definitely is a Christmas movie. They play it every Christmas. And then, we can get into the hot debate. Is Harry Potter 1 a Christmas movie? Because they always play that around every Christmas time as well. And I don't consider that. That's a fantasy movie to me. But It's just when you start getting into the semantics of it all, it gets really weird. Like a lot of the games on this list as well that we saw was like Christmas themed levels in it. So then they just
Yeah,
throw it into the whole game category, even if it was like Saints Row 4 had a Christmas DLC, and then that just got lumped into the Christmas video game, even though
right.
Saints Row 4 is a alien invasion game. And Cherry Tomato Boy says my favorite Christmas in quotes game is Skyrim. It came out winter of 2011. I spent my entire winter break playing it. And funny enough, a lot of people do associate Skyrim with a Christmas game. So
They do.
you're not far off with that. Shampoo says, they do. I've not had cable forever, Netflix forever. I did recently pick up Disney and Apple TV. Some good choices. All right. I do want to start moving into the list of games that we think you should play that are Christmas themed if you are in the Christmas spirit. As you see, I'm wearing the Santa hat because I am ready for Christmas this Thursday if you do celebrate. So yeah, the first game, I'm gonna go first. This is a game that you and I have both played, and I'm the one that you weren't so hot on the first game as I was, but the second game completely changed your mind on this, and we are going to go into the superhero genre and what game that could be. Could that be? Well, that is Spider-Man Miles Morales. And this is 100% a Christmas game because the entire game takes place during Christmas. And you even are seeing Miles Morales exchange gifts with friends and family in this game. But aside from the set dressing of, oh, it takes place during the Christmas time, Miles Morales is probably one of the better superhero games on the market. I
Hands
think
down.
Insomniac did an incredible job of highlighting Miles Morales, highlighting the culture that he is from, just also nailing the feeling of New York City. Obviously, they had Spider-Man 1, but adding some new areas, especially Harlem, and it is incredible to swing through. It always feels great to play as Spider-Man. I love the swinging mechanics. I love the combat in this game. And honestly, this story and campaign is only 8 to 9 hours. It's super short but sweet. You do get a lot of content out of it. You can spend 20 to 30 hours to 100% everything. But yeah, Miles Morales is a great game to just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy a good superhero story. And if you like Spider Man, I think this is a no brainer. And you get a really cool power set with Miles Morales, especially with his electric power set called the Venom. And yeah, I think this was a much better iteration on the Spider-Man formula than Spider-Man 1. So I really liked Miles Morales.
Yeah, I think Miles Morales was probably my favorite iteration of all the Spider-Mans, and I'm even talking retro Spider-Man. And I did a really, like, I don't want to say odd thing or bizarre thing because I'm certain a lot of people do it. What I did was I timed Spider-Man 1 that I played it right before Miles Morales came out. I played it again so that as soon as I finished, I was jumping into Miles Morales. And as much as I love Spider-Man 1, like I thought it blew my mind that I love the power sets as you're talking about. And even into the next iteration of Spider-Man, I still go back to Miles Morales is definitely my favorite, iteration of the Spider-Man series of any, Spider-Man game. But let me tell you, I need to come in there, man. The old man's sitting on this hard thing, man. You're sitting on a nice soft chair. Everybody thought this was a background, an image back. This is real. I'm sitting on this hard, cold, fireplace, and you're
Yeah,
sitting on
but
a nice warm.
I think I think Krampus came through and heated this whole place up because I'm dying in here with all the heat. This is a hot box in here. So
Well, what you don't see, guys, is he sits in my office and there's four monitors going, two computers going, the LED lights going, and when you close that door, it hot boxes in there. So
yeah,
it does get quite warm.
Bombay says it's all AI. Yes, this is all generative AI. We are not
Yeah.
real. This was all prompted right before this. We just consumed households of energy putting this podcast together. And then Shemplu says, I played some Spider-Man games years ago and never again, not because it's bad, but it just feels like they're all the same. Could be totally wrong. And that they think there was a Miles Morales Netflix show slash movie, and it was pretty good. So,
Yeah, no, the Miles Morales game, again, I'm with you. And I have a lot of Spider-Man retro all the way up because I'm a fan. And I agree there's a lot of rinse repeat in there, but I think when Miles Morales came on, they brought a real fresh take on it. And Kobe said it, and I'll say it again, the power-up sets that they give, it just changes the whole dynamic of the game. And I do like this in the Christmas setting because I like any game that has snow in it. I just think that it's kind of serene. Um, when they put the snow, whether it be a COD game or a Battlefield game, all the way up until I just finished that Bloodlines 2 that was in the snow in Seattle. So I enjoy the snow, and I thought Miles Morales did it very well. That hit it home.
I'm going to throw to you. What is your first Christmas game that you want to highlight?
I want to highlight Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh,
For
Lord.
those that have
All
been
right.
on the podcast, I finished that about a month ago. I didn't know that it was out. I ended up buying it for Switch, and then Kobe's like, that's on the Xbox. So I bought it for Xbox. And if you're a fan, again, I grew up in the era with this claymation stuff, or the stop motion, not claymation, sorry, the stop motion. And when I saw this, it is like playing the television series. It's a lot of fun. It's not as childish as you think it would be. I mean, as an adult, I really enjoyed this. It played to the TV show to a T, and then had little things to do in between it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and let me tell you, there was some parts of it that were a little challenging. It didn't wasn't just a speed run through it. There was challenging parts that I'm like, wow, this is really, getting under my skin because I couldn't make certain jumps, or there was puzzles, to the level, excuse me, almost to the level of like a Tomb Raider puzzles. Like it got a little bit. There was a couple times I'm like,
What
I
are you
wonder if there's a walkthrough.
What are you talking about?
There is puzzles in this is then to the level of a Tomb Raider puzzle. I'm telling you, you've never played it, so now you're going to dog on me about my rendition of what this is, and
I'm not dogging. I'm just
you are,
I, I'm not.
you are, and I'm
I'm
telling
not.
you, you've never played it, so how can you judge? And I'm telling you that it is. Play it, and tell me about it.
Only if it
Buddy,
has easy
it's
game.
outstanding.
If it has easy achievements, maybe.
It's not easy achievements. It's a good game to play. Now you threw me off. Ho ho. You're the Grinch. You should have the Grinch face on. He's peeing in
Uh,
my Cheerios here.
Shampoo says, Kevin, you are a wonderfully playful individual talking about your love for all games, even Rudolph.
There you go. I'm okay with my skin. I love the Rudolph game.
I'm
I
glad.
love the shows.
I'm glad. So, do you think this is a good game for parents to get their children if they
A-
like Rudolph?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's a game that you talk about. Duke, Shampoo said it earlier, talking about playing with the family, getting in and playing this with the family. It can't get much more fun. I mean,
No.
it's better than playing Mafia 2 with the family during Christmas.
Ah,
You know,
nothing like sitting around the family couch on fire and picking up the Playboy collectibles on Mafia 2. That's a great Christmas morning if I've ever
there you
heard one. So,
that
but
was only
Elliot,
Christmas at our household, not Christmas at anybody else's.
do you have anything else to say about Rudolph?
Yeah, go out and get it and play it and then judge me.
All right. There you go. That is his challenge to everyone. Go play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and see if it is as good as a masterpiece as he says it is with
It
Tomb
is. It's
Raider
a
level puzzles.
masterpiece. It's Tomb Raider puzzles. You won't get it. You'll have to go. And here's the best part about it is you'll have to go to YouTube like you do all the time for the puzzles. And there's no walkthroughs in Rudolph. So you'll just have
Well,
to sit and figure it out yourself. And then you'll be calling me up saying, how do I get through this puzzle, Dad? I can't get through it. There's no walkthrough for me.
I'll do it with my eyes closed.
There you go.
The next game I want to throw in here, this is a way older title, and I think it might only be on Steam. But this one is called Viscera Cleanup Detail Santa's Rampage. Think of a game where Santa just loses it. He loses his mind and he kills all the elves. He kills everyone in Santa's workshop on Christmas Day. He's just tired of everything. But you come to the scene. You are cleaning it up. You are the janitor, and you have to clean up Santa's rampage. I think this game is hysterical because you're there in the aftermath, and you see how Santa took out these poor elves in his fit of rage. There's really not much to it. You know, you got to burn the elves in the fireplace to get rid of their bodies. You got to clean up all the blood stains. You got to pick up all the trash, just burn it. And it's a very short but wonderful Christmas style game. You know, it is a little violent, but you know, the violence is just the elves. Their body parts, their bodies are everywhere. But yeah, no, this game I played when I was a lot younger. Viscera Cleanup Detail is a whole series. I think they even had like a John Wick game where you go and clean up a John Wick scene afterwards. But I've always liked the idea, even like we talked about it before with Kaiju Cleaning Simulator. It's like, you know, a cataclysmic event happens, but what does that cleanup process look like as the aftermath? And this game is an example of that, but it just takes the idea of what happens if Santa just absolutely loses his mind and just decides to go on a rampage rather than spreading Christmas cheer to all.
Now,
Have you ever seen these games?
is this a VR game?
No, this is like a mouse and keyboard controller game.
It looks like it could be a great adaptation to VR. No, I've never played this. I've never seen this, and I think I'm going to play this. That's
Yeah,
right up my alley. I like the premise of it.
yeah, you can get it done. Like this video I pulled up is like a speed run. You can get it done in half an hour. But the game usually takes an hour to kind of figure out where everything is at and like what exactly you need to clean up. But
Now,
there's like just like a lot of like what's that?
I see him cleaning up, you know, the dynamite and stuff. Do you actually see any of the happenings, or just the aftermath?
This is purely the aftermath. You do not see you, but you can infer what happened and how the elves died in these ways.
Oh, see,
So
that's pretty sick, man. I would definitely play that.
yeah, Viscera Cleanup Detail, Santa's Rampage. Shampoo in the chat says the mop looks like human fingers. You're not wrong. The mop has some weird physics to it. But yeah, this game was great. It's just like a 45-minute romp through Santa's workshop for you to
I
explore.
I love the when you're cleaning up there, you come with clean water, and as you keep dipping the mop in, the water turns bloody. I like that. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
So what is the next game on for you that you want to shout out?
Now, just to let you know, you keep asking that, and I got to go back in my old man memory. I am sitting on this hard fireplace. I don't have four screens in front of me to look up what I sent you. So I have no clue. So I'm just going to pick off the top of my head Elf for Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
I had played this probably about 2 months ago, and I thought that it was an outstanding game. But look at that. That is just outstanding. Where it's Buddy the Elf from the movie The Elf. I thought this thing was so fun to play. It had the quirkiness of the movie, little challenges, but it wasn't hard. I think anybody, a kid, could pick this up, an adult could pick this up, and you can kind of see it's almost like most of the Game Boy Advance games, just a platformer running through, and you do little tasks, pick up little things, and it's Buddy the Elf. What more can you say about it? I mean, it's if you like the movie, you will definitely like the game, and I like to throw a little retro in the Christmas spirit here, and you go collect things, you get points, you move on to different levels. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like the most Game Boy Advance game that I've seen, especially with movie tie-in games. But you know, this is yeah, it looks like a game. It looks like a platformer, and it looks like straight up Game Boy Advance. But how much does this game usually run if they were someone were to buy it for the Game Boy physically and they got like a loose cartridge, like $3-4?
Yeah, I haven't looked at price charting on it, but I would say it's under $10 easily. I don't think it's anything that's earth shattering. And that's what we said in past podcasts. If you're going to retro game, everybody, not everybody, a lot of people have this stigma that, oh, if I have to get into retro gaming, it's going to be thousands and thousands of dollars to play my game, which it's not. You can go out and get a Game Boy Advance fairly cheap, the console itself handheld, and there's a lot of games. Kobe and I were just out at a video game store out in Lancaster, and I was just feathering through all of the $5 and under Game Boy Advance games, and found a handful of that I liked and I'd like to play. And I just started playing, the Disney Atlantis game I paid $2.99 for it. So why not? There's a
Yeah,
lot of games out there.
Game Boy games go for cheap. The one thing that does surprise me about this, though, is in terms of movie tie-ins. I'm really surprised that there was only because we looked at it right before this. There was only a Elf game on the Game Boy. I really thought maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought Elf came out 2003, 2004, maybe '05. I really thought there would have been like a GameCube or a Wii port of this game or like a version in itself because I feel like that era of console had the most, especially the Wii had so many movie tie-in games, especially of this kind of caliber where it's like, oh, I'll just throw an Elf game on that console. But yeah, only seeing this on the Game Boy Advanced really shocked me. I really thought there was going to be more versions of Elf, but console exclusive, I guess. So, but yeah, no, it does look fun. Like I said, this looks like the most Game Boy game that I can imagine. But hey, if you have fun with it, you have fun with it. So
I did. I thoroughly enjoyed this game.
Shemplu in the chat says I made my girlfriend watch Elf for the first time last year. She loves it. It's a holiday classic. It's probably it is one of the best, I would say, Christmas movies out there.
It's up there. It's up there.
Well, what's your favorite?
I don't know. I don't know that I have a favorite. As your mother and I, we're big Scrooge fans. Like we like just about any iteration of the Scrooge. We're really big fans of the ones back in the 40s and so forth. So, but I would have to say if I had to pick my favorite, it would have to be a Scrooge movie. And ironically, I am not, and I'm a big Bill Murray fan, but I'm not a Scrooged fan of that movie. It's ironic. So any other Scrooge I'll watch. That one I don't care to. That's not even on our Plex.
Okay. Bombay says Mickey's Christmas Carol. I think for me, mine is always is tough. But I've always loved Jim Carrey's The Grinch. What a masterpiece that movie is.
right before you came home, your mother and I watched it. Because we just like the Scrooge, I think that's one of the masterpieces too. I think it was one of the best iterations of or the storytelling of the Scrooge, and I'm a little upset that we haven't had a newer one.
Shemplu asks, "Is Groundhog Day a Christmas movie?"
No, it's Groundhog Day.
But I do want to move on. The next game that I want to shout out is one that actually came out last year that my buddies and I played. Now, granted, this isn't the best game in the world, but if you want something that has, kind of slapstick humor, a little bit raunchy, you know what this game, what this television show is. This television show has had many different video game adaptations. This is South Park Snow Day. I love South Park. And then they released a brand new game last year called South Park Snow Day. It is a 3-person or 4-person co-op, very short adventure where you get to customize your own South Park character. It's in this fully rendered 3D environment. It is kind of a slight continuation of the Stick of Truth storyline if you've played the Stick of Truth video game, which is absolutely incredible. But this is a full 3D action game, hack and slash. Very fun, very, raunchy. You go through the Christmas season. All the kids are fighting during the holiday. And there is some things that genuinely surprised me about this game, especially when it comes to the finale. And they go full Dune, D-U-N-E, Dune, like the movie in the book. This game goes places that I did not anticipate. However, it's South Park, and you know what you're getting into. If you don't like South Park, you're not going to like this game. But if you do have an appreciation of South Park, you will like South Park Snow Day as well. Shampoo says Fractured Butthole. I think this takes place in between or after Fractured Butthole, but this is part of the Stick of Truth storyline because the kids are back at the fantasy table. But yeah, it's great. My buddies and I played through it. Took us 3-4 hours. It was a low cost entry, but it's just something to kill the time. And like I said, I enjoy South Park. I like the humor of it. I like the characters, and you get to go play more with them. What about you?
A little disclaimer. I don't know that this is one that you're going to play, with the 5-year-olds, it's not the best choice. I think you go back to my Rudolph and play that one. But it's South Park. How can you go wrong with South Park? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is, like I said, you know what you're getting into, and if you don't know what you're getting into, well, then I don't know. But South Park's been around forever, and like I said, there's been so many game adaptations out there. But it's a
I
perfect Christmas holiday comedy game. I'm trying to do something that's a little bit different than my other picks, so just want to throw a comedy out there for people if you want to laugh.
I can see the grandmother walking into the video store and saying, "Here's a cute Christmas cartoon game I should get Johnny."
Yeah, and
And
then when you have when she walks in and sees you flinging poop at one another, she's gonna be very confused. But
now,
you can fart on people in this game and make them throw up. That is an ability. It's funny.
now let's be honest. I would have got this game for you when you were 5 to for you to play it when your grandmother came here and give her a shock and awe.
Yeah,
Is that true?
100%.
So
And yeah,
I would
she
have
walked,
said,
"Oh my god, what is that?"
I would have said, go in and see when little Kobe's. I got Kobe for Christmas. Go in and sit down and watch him play and watch her be mortified. I would have done that, guys.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
But, South Park, it's raunchy, it's slapstick, it's poop jokes. That's all it is. And the gameplay, it's fine. It's fine enough. It's going to be a fun romp with you and some buddies if you want to get that game.
Hey, I just want to say I'm surprised Kobe turned out as normal as he is. So let that sink in.
Yeah, I could have been a lot worse. Do you remember what your next game is, or do I need
Uh,
to? Do I need the phone
Elf
in
on the
here?
Shelf.
Elf
Now
on the Shelf.
I'm going to go out because this is the debate in the beginning. I did not play Elf on the Shelf. I owned it. I own it, and I did not play it yet. But I think, in the spirit of holiday, this should be a good game that you could play or get the kids to play. I would definitely play this. To me, there's no such thing as a child game. To me, like I'll play anything if I like it. Kobe and I both play SpongeBob, so it doesn't get more childish than that. But I just think this looks like a really fun platformer. Looks different. You can see. I like that it's almost like a small soldier type game where you're small in the environment of the home running through. I would like if they put an element that you can go in and scare the kids in some way, shape, or form, because I think that would be outstanding. But I see that there's puzzle games in it. I've watched the trailer before. I don't quite understand it. I guess it's a memory game that they're doing there. But I just think it looks fun. Everybody knows what Elf on the Shelf is. I would rather if they would get a DLC and do like Snoop on the Stoop, that you could put a little Snoop Dogg in there and play a Snoop Dogg running around. I think that would be outstanding. But I just think it looks like a fun holiday game because that's the big thing when Kobe and I were talking about what holiday game. I wanted to come out with traditional stuff because I don't think there's a ton of holiday Christmas games out there, in comparison to movies and other mediums out there. So uh, I think this would be a fun one. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I don't think this one looks like it's for me.
Ah, come on. You just played Terrifier that you told me was so stupid, but you played through it.
Yeah. So for everyone in the horror realm, there's a movie called Terrifier. It's slop, it's gore slop, but I have fun with it. I think Art the Clown is kind of a horror icon at this point.
Yeah.
Terrifier 3 is technically a Christmas movie if we're gonna get
Yeah.
into it because it's him slashing his way on Christmas. But they released a beat 'em up game called Terrifier the Arcade Game, and I just played through it, and it's probably the worst game I played this year. I did not like that game at all. If I had to slap a rating on it, it'd be like a 4 out of 10. It was a mess. But there is some Christmas themed levels, but that's a beat 'em up. This just for
Well,
me as a platformer, it doesn't hit me where I need it to hit. So
yeah. Terrifier 3 is definitely a Christmas movie. I'm not going to spoil anything, but
don't watch it with your family. Watch
don't
that in
watch
the
it with your
dark
family.
corner of your own home.
But anybody that's curious, because I don't know if it's on YouTube or not, put in Art the Clown as Santa Claus giving out presents to children
It's
and see
a
if it
it's
comes
a
up.
it's a scene.
It's the best scene in the movie, and
It's
that is
so
as Christmas as you get.
He does give Art the Clown does give out gifts at the mall.
Yes. Yes.
So
So it is the best Christmas scene out of all the movies. So we could take that one and run with it. So if you're curious, just go YouTube that. I don't even know if YouTube would put it up. I don't even know. But
that I do
those
not
of you
know.
that are on my Plex, it's on my Plex. Fast forward to when Art is Santa at the mall.
So Bombay says, I mean, I wouldn't call it a story. It's a something, but I'm not sure it's a movie. Terrifier is scenes strung together that has a plot that gets you to the end, but it's I guess it's fun on the way. My next game, this is where we're gonna start getting into kind of the die-hard debate of it all. And my next pick, and it's on the Wikipedia, people call it a Christmas game, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And that is Batman Arkham Origins. Now, Batman Arkham Origins is the forgotten one of the Arkham series. You know, I think a lot of people forget about this game because it was not developed by Rocksteady. It was developed by WB Games. And when it released, I think a lot of people were expecting something else, and it just wasn't that. However, Arkham Origins is not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. Arkham Origins still has that Arkham combat, it has that Arkham flair, and I think it is a good Batman game. It's not the best, you know, it doesn't hold a candle to the original trilogy, and I will be the first one to say that, but I'm not going to be on here and giving a smear campaign against Arkham Origins. I think this game is a good video game. Now, the reason why people call this a Christmas game is because it does take place on Christmas Eve. Gotham City is being Gotham City. The Joker is being Joker. There's villains running around and so on. So we're going to use Gotham City and Christmas Eve as the set dressing to call this a Christmas game. But I just want to say Arkham Origins, I think, is a superhero game that I think is worthy of your time. It's not the longest game out there. It's not the most challenging game. If you want to play a Batman game, I think also you have Kevin Conroy as Batman. You know, like you're always going to get incredible voice acting with him. Unfortunately, Mark Hamill does not voice the Joker in this one. It is Troy Baker. But that being said, Arkham Origins, I will defend this, has some of the best boss fights in the entire Arkham series, especially when you fight Deathstroke in the snow. You talk about loving snow levels and how serene it looks. Being Batman out on the field in like the shipment container yard with Deathstroke and just doing full on hand to hand combat as the snow is laying all around you, making it look very beautiful. Arkham Origins, I think, is severely slept on. So I think if you're in the mood for Batman and for whatever reason, and you want to be also Christmas adjacent or holiday adjacent, depending on what you celebrate, Arkham Origins, I think, is a great choice. It's on Steam. It's always on sale. You can get it for like $5-10. But it's not on the modern console. So if you want to play proprietary on older consoles, it is on the 360 and PS3. But yeah, don't sleep on Arkham Origins. I think this is a good Batman game.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed Batman Origins, but kind of sidebarring that a little bit. It's interesting that there's two superhero games that are on our list for Christmas movies, and I mean Christmas games to play. And I don't remember when looking at the Wikipedia, was there any other superhero games, or were these the only two?
So the other one that people call a Christmas game is the SNES version of Batman Returns, because that also takes place during Christmas time. But I think those are the only three superhero games. But hey, superhero games that's more than one, so
Correct.
it is a reoccurring theme here. But yeah, that's all I can recall from the list was Batman Returns on the SNES being considered a Christmas title.
Good.
So
Now, I think it's my last one. Is it my
yeah, this
last
is the last one you threw me.
Yes, and again, it has to be on the list when you talk about Christmas anything, you're talking about Home Alone. Now, if I'm not mistaken,
This is not your last one. You do have one more as well.
okay, but Home Alone has to be on here, and if I'm not mistaken, there was two Home Alones done. Well, three of technically. I think there was one on the NES, and then there was a Home Alone 1 and 2 on the Game Boy Advanced, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that, guys, but I'm going off of my memory. But Home Alone is you talk about Elf not getting any love beyond the GBA year. Well, here's two generations of Home Alone. Now, I did not play the GBA, which I think we're looking at here.
No, this is actually the Genesis version that I
Oh,
have
the
up right now.
Genesis version. Okay, so there's more even than I thought. I played the Home Alone on NES, but again, you can't have any Christmas video game out there that doesn't include Home Alone. Who doesn't love Home Alone? Who doesn't like following the movie and being able to fight the criminals coming in? I just think that it needs to be on everybody's list. It's kid friendly. I can't imagine that any, even if this is Genesis, any Home Alone iteration would be non kid friendly. And it just looks like some fun times. What are
Yeah,
your
I think yeah, so I don't play a lot of retro games, but Home Alone is actually one that I'd be semi interested in because when we were compiling our list, a lot of people had Home Alone at the top of being this is the best Christmas game that you can play. And looking at the footage here, it does, for the time and the technology that you had at your fingertips, Home Alone actually looks pretty solid for what this kind of game is. And a lot of people who are into retro gaming, and maybe some people in the chat, if you have experienced Home Alone on any of these old consoles, let me know, see if you agree. But a lot of people say this is the best. So, me, as someone who just loves video games and wants to appreciate them, if this is what is considered to be the best of all time in this genre, yeah, I think I would give it a shot. Will I complete it? Probably not, because there's many games that are, on my backlog that are, on the forefront that I want to beat. But just from like a gaming history standpoint, it's like I want to see what it is. It's like I would even go not a Christmas thing at all, but like I would go back and try to play ET because I want to see what crashed the video game industry. So it's like just from that historical standpoint, I want to see why people consider this to be the best or why so many people have this at the top of their list.
Now, I do again, I didn't even know that the Genesis came out with, a version of Home Alone. I'm wondering if it's just reported to that or, report from NES to this or whatever, or was it a brand new different game um out there? I don't know. I
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I do know there is multiple Home Alones out there.
I would
So
like to play, and I do have the NES version. Kind of, again, sidebarring on a game that I just thought of that I would like to play. Obviously, I don't have the N64 version of this, but I would love to play Clay Fighter. I have the NES version of it just to see. That's definitely, a Christmas winter type thing. Just look at the front of it. You got a deranged Frosty the Snowman on it, but Clay Fighter, I have that on NES. I might pop that in here over the holiday and check it out. I don't have the big one that everybody knows is the N64. That was a blockbuster only rental, which is the hardest Clay Fighter to get. Um, but I do have it on the NES or Super NES. I'm sorry.
Bombay says I have Home Alone for a Genesis if you want to borrow it sometime.
Okay, Bombay, do you know is it the same iteration of the NES? They just reported it to the Genesis, or is it a whole new game?
Yeah, reply in the chat. But I do want to go with my next game.
Go for it.
And this is going to be my final pick. And the reason why I'm keeping this final, I do not say this is the best game of all time. And this game, it got updated over time, and I think it's more enjoyable than when it first launched. But this is a Christmas game. It fully takes place during the Christmas time. I just think the game I'm going to talk about lost the identity of what this series used to be. But there is still fun to be had in this game if you don't mind a game. If you like this series, what originally was, I'm building up to this in a very dramatic way, but if you liked what this series was, I don't think you're going to love this game. But there is some things that you can look past to still enjoy it because I do think this game does get overhated. By any means, it's not an incredible game. I think it's a fine game. But if you want just mindless fun for the Christmas holiday that is Christmas themed, I'm gonna throw Dead Rising 4 on here. And Dead Rising 4 was the last newest entry in the Dead Rising series before the remaster of 1 came out. And like I said, I have a lot of issues with this game. But that being said, I do know and have talked to people who have gone back to Dead Rising 4 many years later, once all the updates have happened. They had time to kind of digest what this game was within the franchise. And they say, it's not as bad as we remember it to be. And I haven't gone back to Dead Rising 4 since this first launch. And when I played it, it was a super buggy mess. There was still some fun to be had because it still had that Dead Rising formula of just completely mowing through zombies. And this being set during the Christmas time with some Christmas wacky weapons, some holiday funds here, if you consider a zombie apocalypse fun. Yeah, I think there is something here to enjoy, and I know Dead Rising 4 goes on sale quite a bit. You can get it for dirt cheap nowadays. So I think this might be a game to check out if you haven't played it. If you haven't played the Dead Rising series, I would say start with 1 and 2. Absolutely play those. But if you have played 1 through 3, or have played 1 through 2, and you're kind of itching for a zombie-like experience, Dead Rising 4, give it a shot. See what you think. Like I said, you can get it pretty cheap nowadays, but it's just a mindless game to have for the holiday season if you want something akin to this.
Yeah.
What do you guys say about
Just
this?
just another disclaimer, it's not one to go buy for 5-year-old Jimmy to play for and play around the house. I don't think it's a good game, but, no, I agree with that. I played that game. I don't know that I remember it as Christmas, though. I mean, I know it is, but when I go back in the recess of my memory of playing that, it's tough for me even now, even though I'm seeing it, and it's tough for me to say, "Oh, yeah, that was like I can remember the Christmas, overtone to it or settings to it." I just don't doesn't click to me as Christmas.
Yeah, I think you can actually like pick up Christmas trees and like impale zombies with it. So it's there.
What
It's one of those things where it's like the Die Hard argument.
was it, that or was it Saints Row that you would get a candy cane and beat people up with?
Probably both.
Yeah, it was a big candy
I
cane,
mean,
but
Saints Row had a lot of
weird,
melee weapons that you can
unique
smack people
unique
with.
melee weapons.
Yeah, yeah, they were happy with their designs.
Yeah.
Cherry Tomato Boy says they need to make a Dead Rising in the Mall of America. I think if they were to make a Dead Rising 5 or just a new one in the series, I think that'd be great, especially with modern tech. Yeah, you can definitely pull off a Mall of America. Bring it back. Yeah, bring Dead Rising back to what that series was. Just keep me in the mall. I think where Dead Rising 4 fails is the open worldness of it. And I just don't think that was Dead Rising, but it's still a fun time. And that's what I'll say about it. Dad,
Yeah,
you have one more game. Do you remember what it is?
I do not.
It is The Grinch.
Oh, The Grinch, of course. Now, again, this is another game that I own that I did not play yet, but I was trying to look at it from the fun aspect of what is truly Christmas. And this is just another platform. This one looks pretty stout, man. I'm looking at the video now. I think the graphics look a little, out of all the other ones I picked, I think this looks like more of the most modern graphics. It's the Grinch, for goodness sakes. Who doesn't want to play the Grinch to go through and destroy Whoville and go after and steal, little Mary Sue's, Mary Who's, Christmas gifts? Doesn't this looks great? Come on
I'm
now.
I'm I'm happy that you think looks great. I know like a DLC, the Mischievous Edition came out, so they added content to this game this year. I'm not even joking. Like this trailer that I pulled up was from 2 months ago. So hey, there's new content to the newer Grinch game. Bombay says Mall of America. Nah, do Monroeville Mall for
There
the
you
next
go.
Dead
Monroe
Rising.
Mall.
The thing is with the Grinch, I know there's this one, and I'm gonna look, but we were looking before this, and there's actually a retro Grinch game out there.
There
Have
is.
you played the original Grinch game at all?
I did not, and I know which one because when I was pulling them up, I wanted to pull up the more modern one just to kind of balance out what my games look like, so it's not all retro. And if somebody doesn't have an emulator or a retro console, I just wanted them that they could go because I think it's on the Grinch's. I think it's on the um, Microsoft Store, if I'm not mistaken.
The newer
But
one.
the newer one.
Yeah, yeah. So this one is from the PlayStation 1, and there's a lot of people on here saying it's so bad that it's good. So this could be one of those fun, trashy games that you can play.
It's
But
like
I mean,
Superman for the SNES.
yeah, but it looks like it's set in the Jim Carrey Grinch version. So, this does look kind of fun and just trashy. But yeah, so there are two Grinch versions out there. You can have a modernized version, which is the Benedict Cumberbatch version, or you can have the Jim Carrey version here. So it is your choice. Well, that's it. That's
Before
the
we
game
go,
show.
though, I have to ask you now, out of all the games that we listed, and again, games that you've played, which one, if you had one Christmas game to say to everybody and say, this is the game that you should play for Christmas, what would your choice be?
Oh, Spider-Man Miles Morales. I think that is the most quality game of this bunch. I think if I handed someone Miles Morales and say go play it, I think at minimum people are like it was a good game. Like I don't know, like if you didn't like be like oh it's a 10 out of 10, that's fine, but I don't think anyone will ever come out saying that was a bad game. I think like oh yeah, that was good. That was a pretty good game. Great story, great gameplay and combat mechanics. Like I said, I think that is out of all the games here, that is the most modern feeling. That is the best story of the bunch. Like I think Miles Morales, for me as a person to recommend something to someone, hits all the pillars where you have replayability, you have great gameplay, you have a good story. It isn't a huge time commitment. Like I said, you can get the story done in 5 to 8 hours. So I think it's Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man, so I want to share that joy with other people.
Yeah, I echo that. Out of all the games, I think that one's, and not just because it's modern, because again, I'm a retro guy. I think there's a lot of retro games that I would 100% take over some modern games. But I couldn't agree more with you that out of this entire list of everything that I played, Spider-Man is it's a 90 out of the closest would be a 40 to me. Like if I was going to recommend one game out of here to play, is Miles on Steam yet?
Yes, it is on
Yes.
PC and PlayStation.
Yeah. So again, I would definitely recommend to go out there and get that. I think it is again great story, great game, great mechanics, and it does give you the Christmas feeling because everywhere when you're in Miles' apartment, the Christmas tree's up, everything's decorated. When you're swinging around New York City, everywhere's decorated for it. There's snow. It just gives you that good warm Christmas feeling that, I think sometimes my wife and I talked about it. As you get older, that magic of Christmas kind of fades away. But what brings it back to me is video games. Like, again, we all know that's why we're all watching this or watching it in the future, that video games is an escape. It's a nice escape for us. That's why we like it. That's why we play it. It lets us forget about the stresses of the day and the problems of the day that we have. And I think around the Christmas time, getting that nice Christmas game lets you get escape and just get melted into the game and still feel that holiday feeling. 100% go out and get the Miles Morales game.
Bombay says, "Is the Nightmare Before Christmas Oogie's Revenge a Christmas movie or a Halloween a Christmas game or a Halloween game?"
That's a tough one, and that's one of the bigger debates. I honestly look at the Nightmare Before Christmas as a Halloween. Like I put it on my Plex. It's in my holiday collection. But the reality is I watch that during Halloween more so than during Christmas. And
No.
I wish they'd come out with a little more Halloween centric um, shows. And here's a little sidebar as we're just winding this up and talking about it. If you are a fan of the 60s Rudolph and all that of the stop motion, the Rankin Bass stuff. My wife and I just found one that we've been fans of it since we've been kids, and we've talked about it when we dated, when we got married. We still watch it now during the holidays. There is actually a Halloween one that was made that we never know, and the name of it is slipping my mind. but anybody that's on my Plex, go to the collection and you'll see it. But if you're into those claymations, this is a very bizarre Rankin Bass Halloween, like freaky, like we're like, wow, no wonder they don't show this. It's very adult. It's crazy. We just found it. So just a little shout out to that.
I
But
believe it's this, the Mad
there you go.
Monster Party.
Mad Monster Party. That is 100% it. We've never heard of it. I found it. I put it onto my Plex, and I'm telling you, it is freaky. It is. You're going to sit and say, "What am I watching from Rankin Bass?" Because it's very adult, and you wonder why that's not on anymore. That's because you watch it and you'll know why. But yeah, just circling back. I know I sidetracked there, but I think The Nightmare Before Christmas is more of a Halloween, and I love it. So
But yeah. Yeah, that's it from us. This is it. We're at the end of the year. We hope each and every one of you have a great holiday for whatever you do celebrate. As we're here, I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you to all who have joined us, who continue to join us, who continue to join our Discord. We're very thankful. We're very grateful for all of this. We really didn't expect much out of any of this. We wanted to do this for fun, for us to have more of a connection with one another, and just talk about games, do what we were already doing, but see if anyone else wanted to join in and talk about games as well. And it's been great. It's been lovely. And as we kind of barrel into 2026, we have a lot of ideas, a lot of fresh ideas, and it's going to be a jam-packed 2026 where there's many different events that we're planning on going to, that I'm planning on going to. So we're going to try to do many different things. We're going to do a lot of restructuring. So these next 2 weeks is going to be much needed to kind of sit back, relax, but also plan what the future has in store for all of us here on Active Reload Gaming, and just continue to build the community with all of you. So yeah, once again, thank you to everyone for joining. Thank you for the support, and thank you for the continuous support. And with that being said, I hope each and every one of you have a great holiday, have a great new year. We will see all of you in the new year. So remember, there's no podcast next week, which is, what day is that? I gotta pull up the calendar here. So that would be Monday, December 29th, and probably not on January 5th either, because I'm going to be flying back and I need to get acclimated and everything. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that I need to do personally. So we'll see you guys in January. Just keep an eye out on all the socials. Keep an eye out on the Discord. We'll be in communication whether or not it happens on January 5th.
we may be putting some exciting videos up, so stay tuned. Shorts.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of stuff in talking and teasing about what we're going to do in 2026.
Yep. But have a great time with all your friends and family, and have great celebrations, and be safe out there, and have a great happy new year and holiday. And we will see you all next time. Go play those backlogs. See ya.